You want jumping fish? Here. I got your fucking jumping fish right here. Isn't it like Xers? There. That's like one of the developers'
Why did that suddenly change to a child voice?
Oh, fuck! What?
What?
He gave me a single spongeite. He gave me a single one of those things you use to jump with.
Why?
I don't know, let's see. Thumb this thing. I'll find out why.
To find your way through the forest, put lard in your shorts and yodel. Or possibility two, you must strip away all...
Didn't like that one either. Oh,
yeah, that's it. It's all coming back to me.
To find your way through the forest, you must strip away all illusions?
Didn't we already get through the forest?
We did. He was just repeating natter. Alright, so I've got a single one of these fucking spongites.
Did he take all 3 of our fish?
Yes. For 1 spongite. I hope that's all I need. Enemies will respawn, jumping back and forth until you have 3 of them to give to the Tiki Niki. He will give you spongites. Keep doing this until you have 4 spongites and at least 1 fish in your inventory. Go back to the Tiki Niki, opposite entrance, and a turtle that will swim by. I found this quite hard in trying. Time it and you will land on the turtle's back. After the 4th pad, jump on the other island and fight a bunch of birds. After killing them, you will see a Tiki Niki fishing on a little island. Use your spongeite to get to him and talk to him, and he'll give you the fishing pole. Let's start with maybe try... I feel like I do not need spongites to get to any other any island on here. I have gotten
first. Say first.
What? Oh yeah, good call. I'm gonna try and just be confused as opposed to infuriated at the moment, and just see how far that gets me. Because I swear, if I have to like, if I do indeed have to collect like a dozen of those fish, 3 at a time, well, that would just
be fucking stupid like the rest of this game.
And that would make this game incredibly consistent, I suppose. You know, it's the only thing. You know, it's not consistent with this game. My fucking jump. I am hitting the button. We need like. I feel like there needs to be some kind of. I would never. No, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to put all the work on myself. But I was gonna be like, there should be something funny every time we have to reload.
Yeah.
But no, I don't feel like it.
So much.
This game is not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not.
I've reloaded like 3 times just now.
No.
Oh.
That's part of Michael's soul leaving his body.
Indeed. Oh, let's talk about the other part of my soul that left my body. So, it was a boring Tuesday yesterday, and movie tickets are half off.
Okay.
So, I went to the cinema to see a much-hyped horror film yesterday.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody refer to it as the cinema except for you.
I went to the movies.
You can't even do it.
I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to think if there's like an even older word I could use.
Yeah.
I went down to the Nickelodeon to go see a picture
What?
yesterday. That's what they used to call movie theaters. They called them Nickelodeons because you paid a nickel to see a show.
Oh.
That's where Nickelodeon's name comes from. Yes, indeed.
Seems really weird.
It's an odd place to derive a name, I agree.
You want to save?
Yeah. Yeah, now's as good a time
I
as
mean,
any.
like, could you imagine right now if somebody just, like, came out with a TV show, a TV station called The Theater?
I mean, does this station play, you know, recorded theatrical programs or something? Because that'd be really cool.
Especially, like, a fucking kids channel. That just, like, came out and they're like, we're gonna call this Theater.
I guess they just, you know, I mean, maybe just the Nickelodeon guys recognize that rolls off the tongue really well.
Yeah.
Incidentally, there was... I'll get back to my cinema story in a moment. There was apparently... I've not watched the Netflix series of Unfortunate Events show.
Me either, but I really want to.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I don't know. I've kind of heard... I've heard good things from lots of people.
Did you get a health file?
What?
Did you get a health file?
Yes, I was looking for it. Holy shit! Wow, I've got two.
Quick, do a save.
And now I've got 2 jumping fish.
Nice.
I'm still aggravated by the idea of carrying them back 3 at a time for 1 spongeite, but so.
How did you get more jumping fish?
I have no idea. Wait a minute. Does he trade 1 fish for 1?
God damn it, Michael! That's what I asked you earlier.
Let's get back and confirm. If I can remember where the hell I was. Apparently there was a joke in the Netflix series of Unfortunate Events show.
Okay.
Where Count Olaf said something about a ridiculous Nickelodeon. Because, characters talk in weird, at times archaic ways, but also because Nickelodeon financed the not very well received other adaptation of a series of Unfortunate Events.
The movie?
Yes.
I really liked that.
I have not... I'm talking about this series like I've not...
And I'm not going to say I don't have problems with it, because it crammed 3 books into 1 movie.
Right.
And it missed a lot of shit, and it was just inaccurate, but I still thought it was a good kids movie.
Right. I don't know. I can't talk about this series like I'm a super fan. I did read almost all of the books back in the day. Not all of them, but most of them. And I enjoyed them at the time, but I hadn't thought about them in ages, and I did recently listen to the first audiobook of that series, but I listened to it because Tim Curry was the narrator, and Tim Curry is like, even if you don't know who Tim Curry is, you would recognize him by the hundreds of children's animated shows and whatnot he did in his career.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, you know Rocky Horror, don't you?
I do know Rocky Horror.
Yeah, he's Frankenfurter.
Oh. I love Rocky Horror.
And he narrates some of the series of Unfortunate Events audiobooks, and he's pretty damn good at it. He's pretty solid. Except, and it's so weird to hear him, being this almost gentle narrator type, because most of his characters are so fucking batshit. Yeah.
So, my biggest concern right now is that it said we had to have 1 fish in our inventory.
Right.
And now we don't.
Well, we needed 4. The guide recommended here. You do the guide work.
This makes more sense now.
Yeah. It said we needed 4 spongites to get to some guy with a fishing pole. Oh, this is nonsensical. So I was at the cinema, and I saw this picture called Hereditary the other day. Wow, I didn't even know I could drown there. That's fine, I've still got 3 spongites. And, I have yet to be lied to about a critically acclaimed horror film. I know that there exist critically acclaimed horror films that are shit.
Yeah.
And because movie critics just there are genres that just, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, because you know what? Any movie critic is capable of doing justice to a genre. It just depends upon the person. But anyhow, more to the point, the last few, well-received horror films that I've seen. I saw It last year. I saw A Quiet Place earlier this year.
Uh-huh.
Those both got rave reviews from critics, and I quite liked both of them. So I kind of thought this'll be, this thing's getting mad good reviews everywhere I look it up. And I knew next to nothing about it.
Okay.
Which I felt like, that's a good mentality.
I feel like that's the best way to go into a movie, honestly.
Yeah, and just to know that you're going to see something good, and you won't necessarily, you know, not to necessarily know what's coming. I like surprises. So
Plus, then there's a lack of expectation.
yeah, except again for the fact that, you know, that thing's coming right at me. Bam! I evaded it with a cutscene.
Oh.
You'll need new magic when you battle the big one.
We need Impede to battle the big one.
I'm for exchanging unpleasant letters.
Thanks for your help, Nino. She's so cute. I want to wrap her up in ribbons and give her to myself for a birthday present.
That's really selfish.
This is the first... Finally, this game got back to its awkward dialogue. I feel like we've had a lack of it this episode. We've been doing all this fucking jumping around and nonsense. Ugh. Oh, there's the turtle. But we need to get to a little fisherman fella. Apparently. So fucking close. Okay, so I go into this movie knowing basically nothing. And, you know, the trailers didn't really hint all that much about what I was going to be getting into either.
Uh-huh.
Here goes. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this movie. So, this movie opens with the death of this... What the fuck? I landed on the board!
Through the boards.
So this old woman has just died.
Uh-huh.
And her daughter has a teenage son and like a 10 or 13-year-old daughter who this granddaughter character is made by I do not know if, and I'm gonna sound so fucking shitty saying this, but it's hard to put it any other way. I'm like, I don't know if they were out to find the most conventionally unattractive young actress they could possibly find.
Yeah.
I sound so bad saying that, but that so seemed like... Why is there a meter? Why is there a meter on the screen?
The black one.
Wow! You will need new magic for I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's what was being talked about. I have no idea, but whatever. So I don't know if they were trying to find the creepiest, most unpleasant looking 13-year-old they possibly could, or not. But the movie totally seems to agree with me on this front.
Yeah.
They were totally looking to make this kid look totally unpleasant.
Yeah.
So, and so these kids, they've got their grandma, and she's just died, but like, nobody feels very sad about it.
Oh, you fucked him up with that one hit.
I've forgotten which button jumps and which one does what. So he's got the health back. What?
No, because it's strength sap.
What? So that like
I wonder. He only got like half of his health back.
Oh, I thought I was using impede.
Definitely not.
Can I use it? Can I use it repeatedly?
Maybe you are using impede. I don't even fucking know.
Fuck off! This was maybe not a good place to save because now I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
I gotta succeed or I am dead.
Multiple times.
Nowhere to run.
In a never-ending loop.
Would you all just fuck off? So, nobody knows how to... So Grandma's dead.
Ooh, you almost got him killed.
I almost got him, but he's got his legion of other enemies. Yeah. And this time I strength stabbed one of them instead of him. Maybe I should just focus on whittling them down. Because I mean, they might drop health pickups and shit. It looks like he can't... It kind of looked like he maybe couldn't have gotten me from that angle.
Yeah.
So maybe that's worth trying. There could not possibly be any strategy to this. This is just nonsense. So...
The tentacle kind of looked like a giant arm in that one shot.
So nobody really So like, only the creepy little girl ever really had a ever really interacted with Grandma. And she's the only one who's a little bent out of shape about it.
Okay.
Everybody else is like, you know, Grandma wasn't around. She was kind of a bitch. And we know we should be sad, but we're not that sad. Which,
Okay.
like, okay. For, like, a family drama plot, that's actually kind of legit. That's like, you know, I get that. I understand that feeling. I understand how you can have a relative who just disappoints you that much. But, so, they kind of go in this direction for a bit, and the kids are all, the two kids are kind of mourning, but mostly just the creepy little girl. And again, they play up this little girl for the creep factor for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Every scene you see her, she is glaring at the camera kind of disturbingly. There's a scene where she's in school, and a pigeon hits the window and dies. And she goes up, she finds the body after school, and fucking cuts its head off. This is an unpleasant experience, is what I'm saying here. And
Much like playing this video game.
yes, it all wraps back around. So a little later, like, the teenage son, who is, I'm to understand, oh my lord, to really, this is how fucking, because we've made this reference before, he's played by Alex Wolff, who, I was so close! Look how close I was!
I see how close you were, Michael.
He's the brother of Nat Wolff, who was in the Netflix Death Note movie.
Oh, God. I'm not gonna lie, I turned that on for about a minute.
That's all you needed?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I watched it with Lena at one point.
I'm so sorry.
It wasn't good, but I was kind of entertained. It seems like, you know, at least there was kind of, at least it didn't try to be the same storyline, which, like, is why I really haven't touched the live-action Full Metal Alchemist yet.
I've seen about 2 minutes of that in the middle. And it looks terrible, by the way. It does not look good.
Okay, but anyhow, so Nat Wolff, brother of... No, this was Alex. Alex Wolff, brother of Nat Wolff from live-action Netflix Death Note movie. See ya, bitch! I'm wondering whether or not I should save. Because I've... Surely... No, I'm not gonna risk it. Oh my lord, my... Oh! Oh! A moment now to feel a tinge of success.